Brady, Brady's kind of hard to forget.
Don't be shady, call Brady.
Yeah, Brady is like easy to remember. Brady has a brand that's easily memorable. He's got the stash and the hat, and it's kind of hard to forget. And I do think that's actually a nice move. Like, I mean, love or hate Donald Trump, you can't not picture the hair. You know what I'm saying? Like it's sort of his thing. Yeah, and that whole thing, you know. Eh, People who
And
are icons usually have rememberable things about them and they brand themselves that way. So I'm just saying, whatever you got to do so they remember you. But I would do that. And then when you offer, so I was going to say, so when the husband gets home and you've done all this, you've sent the video of their favorite, of a couple of home sites that they think they might be interested in, maybe a drive through the neighborhood kind of a thing. And they feel like it's very personalized to them. Did any of you guys go watch the movie I told you to watch called The Secret to My Success with Michael J. Fox?
I hadn't,
Seen it.
no.
Okay. Some of you need to go to your Amazon Prime account this week and you need to go watch The Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox. It is the example of what I would do with the customer. Like I would go above and beyond their expectation in a way that wows your ideal and likely buyer, and that no one else they're going to talk to is going to do what you do. And then when it's time for them to come to town and do the deal, they're not going to want to talk to anybody else because you did everything for them. Does that make sense? Like that
Yes.
is the move. I used to close every deal from a customer from out of state for just going way above and beyond. Now, this was back in the day, I would take pictures. We didn't have Matterports. We didn't have the capability. We had a landline back. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but no, like the video quality wasn't that great on phones back then. It was like pictures were better, but still not great. And so I would just focus on like doing those kinds of deliverables. And when the husband gets home that night, she's going to be like, yeah, honey, I met with that girl from Indiana. I forget what her name is because there's so many consonants in her name, but um, she was awesome. She went over everything with me. She was super helpful. And tonight, honey, once we put the kids to bed, we're going to sit down and I've got a price out thing we're going to go through. She sent me this app. She sent me this Google thing. It's this app. Carl, we need to go through it, Carl. And so that's what you're going to do. That's what's going to happen when you do that. Does that help?
Yes. Thank you.
Jordan, I feel like there's a PowerPoint in our future that's coming from this.
It was just an idea, Jordan. I'm sorry.
No, I actually hadn't really thought about it that much, but the fact that you do get a lot of those out-of-state buyers, it probably makes sense to do this.
It's
Um,
just we're so close to Chicago, so many people relocate here.
yeah. And Ty, I don't know, do you get a lot of out-of-staters? Ty Bach?
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
We get a lot. I mean, we're getting a lot of Colorado,
yeah,
uh, California, Oregon, Washington. I mean,
yeah,
it kind of goes in spurts. Um, I haven't got a ton of people in the communities that have settled from there, but a lot of our custom builds and stuff are coming from out of state.
yeah.
But we definitely have people, inquiring. A lot of it's they're here visiting, so they're just kind of wanting to check out what the housing market is like.
Do you get contacts from out of state that want to look at stuff before they come?
Not as much as people that are just actually come up, especially like from Colorado. I mean, if people are coming from Denver.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a ways for us.
you get summer
Yeah,
and fall, they just come in because they're on
yeah. We have a
vacation
lot of
share.
tourism. We have a lot of tourism anyway. So
Yeah. Yeah, you got a beautiful place people like to travel to. So, okay. That was a great question. Thanks for asking it. Any other questions on anything? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? Okay. Tell me about, I want each one of you to think of who is the customer I have closest to moving forward next. and then I want you to tell me about their situation and what you need to do to close that deal. So I'm going to start with Bray D. I'm going to
Cool.
start with Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday.
What are you starting with?
I'm starting with you. What is the customer you feel like you have closest to moving forward right now? And you tell me what needs to happen to get them over the finish line.
Oh, well, I just signed the one for Ozark. The closest one that I had in the pipeline beside that was Republic, and they actually just texted me about 30 minutes ago and said they wrote an offer on a house, a different house with a larger backyard. So he loved our house. He loved the incentives and the rates. I mean, there was no hiccup there. Backyard was just, I mean, it was tight, and I thought I had him pretty roped in because he wanted a fence, and I'm like, dude, this is the cheapest fence I'm going to build all year. Like, this is your best route if you want to build a fence. And he ended up choosing something that was about 10 years older on, I think, a full acre. So that was my closest one I had there. I'm trying to think, what was the other one that I was working heavy? It was Justin Young, but he's going to be a build on his own land, and he's 30 days out. He's got to rebuild his credit. And to be honest, I don't think it's something that we can do efficiently and make money on, being it's a one-off $350,000 budget. The land's 87. I mean, it needs infrastructure. It's not going to happen.
Does he already own the land?
No.
I would push really, really hard. I would basically push him really hard to get him to move forward on something you have as opposed to that.
And that's kind of my game plan. Because I messaged him this morning. I said, hey, how much of that land are you actually needing? He said, well, I don't necessarily need all that land. And I'm like, okay, because his budget, it doesn't make sense. He's wanting to move, but he's dreaming too big for right now. So I actually plan on, he was supposed to call me this evening. And what I was going to do is just show him the amount of equity he would have in the next 5 years buying one of our homes, and how he could actually purchase that land in 5 years, and probably end up in a better spot than what he's in now. The house he has to sell, it's a nice house. I think it's, probably a 225 to 230 list, good entry level FHA buyer. But, in 5 years, I mean, somebody's not going to be looking for that, something that old. They're going to be looking for what he has if he buys a new home that's just a few years old. So I plan on having that conversation tonight with him.
Yeah, that's the route I would always go with that buyer. Like the guy who's got, marginal credit or whatever, he's trying to rebuild his credit, usually means he doesn't have cash. The reason he has a problem with his credit is because he doesn't have cash. So building off-site requires the most cash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you
And
need
that's
20% of the cost of the land and the house combined. So you need 70 grand if it's 350, right? In a
Andy wants to do
renovation,
BA zero down construction loan.
well, the only person who does that I know of is Steve. So, but still, even in that scenario, you got to have some money. So,
And that's what I told him. I said, we have to have a deposit, to make sure that we can order the materials and get you built correctly. And he's like, well, that's why I need to sell my house first. I says, what are you doing in the intermediate time? I don't know. I can live with family. Okay. So for 5 months, well, I probably can't live with them for 5 months. So that's what I was kind of waiting to get all the information collected to rope him in tonight and make something happen with that. So
yeah.
the other one's a Nixa lead, but she's been disconnected a little bit, but I'm still working it and texting everybody. So
Yeah. Yeah, you got to like convince people to build in your community when they have marginal credit and stuff. It's going to be a lot easier to fit them into that deal than building an offsite, where they're going to need a construction loan. I mean,
well, I think we can even get with the incentive. I think we can keep his payment the same for what he's paying now to a house that we've built in Republic. I think we can keep him at the same,
What is the method I would use to figure out to show them equity over the next 5 years? What would I do? I've shown this to you guys a couple times.
It's
Yeah.
1.04%. So the home price times 1.04% over the next 5 years, 322,000. It's
Yep.
405 something.